So the only way to fix that is to put some titanium rods in her spine and screw it all together, and then bone graft it and sort of fuse that whole section of the spine.
Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now. Let's start with the switch, man, from Shanghai to Las Vegas. What are your thoughts on this late change?
Yeah, no real stress to me. Obviously, it's a little bit more travel. But yeah, the UFC they shuffle their stuff. They got a whole team to take care of that and sort the flights and the economy and all that sort of jazz. And I really just keep doing me and training and getting ready and perfecting this back end of the camp, and then yeah, jump on a plane and just go to a different location, a little bit longer, but that's about it. Good thing is I've been to Vegas a couple of times now, so I sort of know the food, know where to train, know where to get my stuff that I need for that fight week, and yeah, get it all sorted.
So did you know about this before like everybody else did? Because I woke up one morning and it was just everywhere, like on social media.
Yeah, I probably found out maybe like 1.5 weeks ago, probably the same time as everyone else. I just yeah had a voice message from my manager Danny. He just said, "Hey guys, bit of a switch up. Uh, we're moving from Shanghai back to Vegas. Do it at the Apex. Yeah, we'll get the team onto the flights and get that all sorted. And yeah, pretty much just no stress on anyone's. Just has to be done, I guess. I don't know exactly why or what the change of why the change happened, but yeah, obviously they know something we don't know, and just got to roll with it.
Definitely, definitely. And like you said, you've been to Vegas a few times now and you've fought in the Apex, so it's not a new venue. I don't think it really matters to most fighters, right? If it's just a cage, like you'll fight anywhere. The cage can be in the middle of the desert.
Oh, 100%. I'll just fight in the car park if that's where they sanction it. You know what I mean? The location and the country and that it's sort of out of my hands anyway. UFC call you, they say they want you to fight. You don't. There's no yes, no, maybe. It's like we're as fighters. Yep, sweet. We're taking the fight. This is where it's at, and it has no beholding on how we fight and how we approach it. Obviously, just try to adjust that little time schedule when we get there, and yeah, everything's normal.
And are you gonna go out there a little bit earlier, or are you just gonna go out there as normal?
Yeah, so I'll head out like the 7 days before, try to get there just that first few days, and then yeah, come into that back end of fight week and try to should be on their time and yeah, cut weight and do the media obligations, and then yeah, go do the fun part after it's all said and done in fight week.
Have you ever had issues with jet lag in a fight?
Nah, not as of yet. Usually both times I've been to Vegas already, got there like 6 and 5 days before. But usually just try to plan it to stay up that whole first day and then go to bed on their time. And then as soon as you wake up, like the first day is hard because you're obviously tired from flying, and it's about 20 hours from Australia all up, roughly. And then yeah, you want to get to sleep as soon as you touch down, but you just got to fight that urge and yeah, stay up until it's nighttime in Vegas, then get to bed on their schedule, and then wake up the next day, and you're pretty much ready to go. Well, I have been anyway, so.
Yeah, there seems to be some confusion. Like, are they gonna have the fights in the morning, or are they gonna have the fights in the evening, like normal Apex cards? It's Have you heard anything about that?
Nah, I haven't heard anything on those logistics as of yet. Obviously, hopefully, like the afternoon, the night where they when they usually do them, just give us that little bit more time. But yeah, I guess I'll find out when I get there. Hey,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let's talk about the opponent coming up, man. Hyun Sung Park. He's a young
yep,
prospect. First fight, he's making his debut. He's the Road to UFC winner, the first one
yep.
in the flyweight division. What do you see in him? What do you think of what he brings to the table?
Yeah, obviously he's young. He's went through the road to UFC, so he's obviously he's 8-0 and he's undefeated, and yeah, he's obviously well skilled and he's a well-rounded fighter. Obviously, he's in the UFC now for a reason, and he's got skills. He obviously I've seen him train out at Bang Teo in Phuket and do a bit of stuff out there. And obviously he's got his home country team. And yeah, excited to welcome him to the cage for his debut. And in the Apex, it's a little bit smaller, so we can get straight into it and make it a fan friendly fight. And yeah.
And 2023, man, professionally has been a rough year for you so far in the cage. How do you look at the journey so far?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a shitter of a year, eh? You get to the top echelon of fighting and the biggest promotion in the world, and then you have a couple shitty performances, and yeah, it's very frustrating, and it's to obviously, as everyone says, like to live on those couple losses in a row, and it's been like, yeah, a long time now. It's like it's eating at me to get back in that winners column and do what I know I can do. Obviously, both fights have been pretty fast, and I haven't really got to show any of my skills and my assets and how well rounded I am and my skill set. But yeah, that is the plan. This fight is to show me and focus on me and put my best foot forward, and obviously, yeah, get back in that winners circle and yeah, try to finish the year on a good note and on a happy note and enjoy Christmas with the family, and then yeah, look to early next year, or when there's some rumors that they're coming back down to Australia next year. So yeah, start preparing for that one. When after this one, obviously, first and foremost, just look at this one and try my best and put my best foot forward and get back into that winners column.
With the losses, I mean, it can eat at you, but your life is not just about fighting. You have a family, you do other things outside of just training and getting ready for a fight. So it doesn't eat at you as much, does it? You know what I mean? Sometimes you forget about what's going on in the fight world.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Some people probably would forget about it. I don't. I'm a very tough competitor, and I sort of hold myself to a very high level. Yeah, obviously, I do have a lot going on outside of training and fighting itself. And I haven't even been back to my house since the fight in Vegas in July, because we're doing a renovation, and that's just blown out and blown out and blown out. So luckily we've been living at my wife's dad's, and he's been helping us. And yeah, so I've sort of been living out of a suitcase since Vegas. So every time I get some clothes out or get my training gear out, I look at that suitcase and go, fuck. Like, I just think it just reminds me of Las Vegas and gives me that little itch and that hunger to yeah, train hard and prepare right, and yeah, put my best foot forward. And obviously we're going to go back, and maybe third time's a charm in Vegas. We get to perform and show our best self, and yeah.
Any tweaks to the training camp?
Yeah, we're all, I don't know, if you're not adjusting, you're probably not getting better, and you probably get left behind, right? So my team, we're very smart. We're always trying to adjust and get better and implement different things. And obviously, different opponents have different attributes. So try to implement things that are going to work in our favor in that aspect. And then this camp, we've pulled back a little bit on the strength and conditioning stuff, just to let my body perform at the sport specific sessions. And yeah, so that's been going good. Um, Other than that, obviously we can't tell all the secrets, but worked a lot specifically for our opponent, and yeah, feeling real good.
You've been fighting for a long time, and you're not the youngest guy. Do you feel the wear and tear more in these camps, the last couple of camps, than you did like maybe a year or two ago?
Oh, I don't know the wear and tear. The recovery is definitely a little bit different. You don't have that same spring in your step for the second or third session as a young 22-year-old would, or in that aspect. But I've been very diligent on how I've treated my body and how I take care of myself, my recovery, and the food I eat, and how I treat my body, so I can perform and have some longevity in this sport. Yeah, I still feel really good. Body's still holding up really nice. No injuries, no niggles. So that's a good thing. The hardest part I sort of see as I'm getting older is like the weight cut's a little bit different. Obviously, you're getting a little bit older. You probably put on a little bit more muscle and getting that sort of older man strength and that older man body. And yeah, that's the only little difference I see is like, yeah, I'm carrying a bit more muscle, and so that's why we've pulled back a little bit on the strength just to help us come into fight week with a relatively easy weight cut, and yeah, look to perform from there.
Do you feel like that will be a big difference maker in this fight coming up when you guys get into the clinch or get into like grappling scenarios?
No, not really. I think I'm a very strong flyweight anyway, so I think pulling back a little bit on the strength and conditioning, I think it might only help me. I think it's going to help me be faster and smarter and make those better educated decisions in those tie ups and those clinches and those wrestling sort of scenarios and transitions where I think, yeah, you can be bigger and stronger, but how much does that gas you? Does it take your oxygen away? Does it slow you down in the long run? So I think, well, I can't say I think, but from training and from how I've been performing in camp, it's all looked positive so far. So
I don't think we've ever seen like a flyweight fight where the guy was like, people were saying like, oh, that flyweight is slow. Like never, we've never seen
yeah,
that. Doesn't matter how old you are,
yeah,
right?
it doesn't it doesn't often happen, right? The flyweights, the bantamweights, even the
Yeah.
featherweights, like most of the guys have gas tanks for days and yeah, explosive and fast and yeah, where I'm at right now, I think it's sort of just critiquing that area and it's making me better in those areas. So looking very forward to testing it out and seeing how it comes on the fight night.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier, man, the two fights you haven't been able to like even get started with anything. It's just
Yeah.
the fights were over so quick, and yeah, and that's what's the mystery, right? Heading into this fight for a lot of people, it's
Yep.
like, can Shannon, show what he's really about? What we've seen, the people that know you, that followed your
Yep.
career, they know your capabilities. That's the question, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's very hard to obviously fight in the UFC and not really get to show anything in two fights. So yeah, this one when I do get to show that, I get to shut a lot of people up and a lot of those keyboard warriors out there that have no idea what they're talking about and they feel safe sitting at home. But once I get to show my true self and my true skills, I think it'll speak for itself and yeah, we'll get back in that winners column and look to next year for another one.
Have you been getting a lot of hate? I remember like hearing like Casey O'Neill and I think Stylebender as well talking about like the tall poppy syndrome or something like that. Is that something that you've experienced?
Yeah, a little bit, right? So it's sort of big down this way. I don't know why, but it's like people like to see you doing good until you're doing better than them, and then they want to cut you back down to their level. So I think it's very prevalent around this area of the world, and I think people try to cut you down to make themselves feel better. Like I have seen a little bit of it, but I try to stay away from all that social media and all the comments and whatever. But yeah, every now and then you catch it, and I think, oh man, I'll just love for you to come in and do a few rounds. Like come in and wrestle for 20 minutes, and let's see who's getting up. Like I'd love to see it, but yeah, I guess that's why they're where they are and I'm where I am. I've done the work and I've put in and I believe in myself and yeah, December 9th we get to show the real me and yeah, my true potential and yeah.
And what do you see, man, in this fight? Like the guy that you're fighting, he's young, you know what I mean? It seems like he somehow ends up on people's backs a lot. You know what I mean? That's just
Yep.
something that he does. And what do you see in this fight when you envision it?
Yeah, so obviously that's we've taken that into our sort of skill sets and how we've been working and what we've been working to defend against and stop these positions from happening. I think a few people have got very complacent with him and let him get to that back position, and then from there he's a few steps ahead of people and he's taken what he wants and yeah, we're going to shut that down completely from the start. He's not even going to get a chance to get to the back. And yeah, we're gonna the volume and the pressure. He's a bit of a slow fighter, but he's very technical. He's very balanced. He's very smart and strategic. So he's obviously young. He's got skills everywhere. He's well rounded. Yeah, I've got nothing bad to say about the guy, but when we get in there, it's just going to be me versus me, and my skills against his skills, and yeah, get to really see who comes out on top. And for me, taking that zero and making it a one is my main goal right now, and I think that can sort of prop me up. And once I do defeat him and show people my true potential, it sort of puts me back into that place where I know I'm where I should be.
Yeah, one thing about the flyweight division, 2, 3 wins, and then like you're ranked. It's you could skyrocket up real fast in the division. It's
Yeah,
very.
like obviously Stephen Ursig from Australia.
Mhm.
He's had 2 fights, 2 wins. He fought a top 10 guy on short notice, and he jumped into the rankings pretty quick. So yeah, like you said, few good fights, few good wins, and you can be in that top 15, top 10 pretty quick. And from there, if you fight good and exciting, and you can do all the other stuff outside of the cage, you can sort of skyrocket yourself into top sort of positions.
Definitely. And something outside of fighting that I wanted to ask you about is I saw it in another interview that you're talking about your daughter and she had spine surgery earlier this year. How was it dealing with that and what's the update on her health?
Yeah, so obviously pretty big surgery, having a spine surgery. She got I think it was from her T4 to her L5 fuse, because she had some pretty major scoliosis, which is curvature of the spine. So the only way to fix that is to put some titanium rods in her spine and screw it all together, and then bone graft it and sort of fuse that whole section of the spine. She's doing really good now. She's back to school and back to high school, and sort of doing the normal things that kids would be doing at her age. Obviously, no sport and contact stuff yet, but yeah, back into the normality of life. And yeah, so that was when did she get the surgery? June. I think she got the surgery in August, or maybe just after August. So I come back from Vegas, yeah, straight into the a big renovation at our house. She went in for the scoliosis surgery, so a big spine surgery. She had to spend about a week and a half up in the Royal Children's Hospital where the surgery was done. And then, yeah, we've been living at my wife's dad's since. And maybe after this fight, I'll fly back and our house will be ready, and we'll all be able to enjoy Christmas together. And yeah, life's crazy, man. You hear a lot of people say they're busy and they've got lots of stuff going on, and but yeah, you get to choose your hard, right? Like going to training for some people is hard, but for me, I love it, so it's not hard. So yeah, my daughter, she's doing great now. Obviously, we got 3 other ones as well, so sort of all helped out through that little time, and yeah, she's doing real good now, back on the mend and back living a normal life. And yeah, got her spine all straightened up, and she's happy. She grew about eight centimeters over surgery, so she come out of surgery, and we went for a walk, and I remember stopping and sort of looking at her sideways, and she's nearly taller than me. I'm freaking hell, like so yeah, pretty big growth spurt in the surgery. Yeah,
Man, I'm so happy to hear that, man. That you never know. You know what I mean? You never know what's going on in a fighter's life. You know what I mean? People only
yeah,
look at what they see in the fight. That's it. They don't know.
that's it. Yeah, yeah, it's hard, right? A lot of us try to portray this image on
Mhm.
socials and on anything, like how good life is, and all the good stuff, right? We don't really show the nitty gritty aspect of life and what's going on behind the scenes. And like for me with 4 kids, my life is crazy busy all the time. So it's like school drop offs and pickups and grabbing the kids, going to their sport, then to my sport, then like I don't really even have a lot of time for socials, so it's hard for people to understand. Like I'm just a normal guy as well. I've just faced the same dramas and troubles in life that everyone else faces, except you get to see me on the worldwide stage get in fights, and obviously the first couple haven't went to plan, so you get to try to critique me for that. But yeah, I tell people all the time, yeah, I only let people critique me who are in the same position or better, right? Why am I going to listen to a guy that's never tried in his life? Why am I going to listen to a person that's never stuck their neck out and had a go? So if you can take that through life, and Yeah, I think it'll take you the right way and keep you positive and keep you in a good mindset.
Definitely, man. December 9th, man, you're back in action in Las Vegas, UFC Fight Night, Apex. Shannon, thank you so much, man, for the time, and all the best to you in the fight and with your family.
Awesome, brother. Thank you very much for your time, and thanks for the little shuffle this morning.